Next step is to continue with the other parts. For instance, this holder, which keeps the motor gear on the base. We can have this should look like this. It's already printed out. So we can have the motor, which we built as a basis for this, a starting point, and start building another part from the geometry we have on this step motor. Right. So we can actually quite free how we can draw this geometry. What we need construction geometry on this face, so we can use this like with extraction of another part. So we need to create the part, and it will be some motor, for instance, and you see it become the active, so we can draw the geometry and pull the solid body of this part. Let's put it like this. So I would say we can easily draw the rectangle. If we use this mouse movement, the software actually have some snipping and suggestions if you want to align your geometry with some other borders on edges. So we start the triangle rectangle from this point and draw it till this one, for instance, like this. It looks like this 1242 and 12, for instance, millimeters. Click, and we also can draw the cycles. You see it recognizes the center of the cycle and snaps to the diameter of existing auxiliary geometry, and then we can pull it to some distance. I think 4 millimeters should be enough for this part to hold it. We see it kind of intersects with another geometry, so we probably would like to cut it out. We can do this immediately here, but we can try it out. Yes, like this center, so it snaps to this cycle. We can also create part just to show how it works and pull it. It seems it doesn't work well. Then we can do following. We can delete this line and connect this and end of this arc and this line with end of this arc, and then try to pull it. So you see, it is better now. But there is another way to do this. So I click undo, and actually I'm creating the convergent geometry on this face and draw the cycle on it, which we want to cut out, and we still have the motor holder as active, and pull this cycle of the active from the active workspace workplane, we will remove material, and we can move it not in one direction but to both sides. So it will looks like this. Yeah, it moves actually slowly to both directions. Click, and if we delete this space and this one active, because we work always with active workspace and more active part, we will have the something like this. Next step, we need to create something like this. So we can create another work plane on this surface and have the rectangle from here till this distance. I click tab to define the 4 millimeters thickness and click. We can also edit this rectangle just to move the strength of move the parts. For instance, you can move it like this. Undo it. Then we need to pull it. We can pull it to some distance. Let's put it again 12. And we can also, this is actually the solid part. Already, so we can print it out. And I would prefer to have some edge like this, so because the motor is pretty heavy and it can crack this, so it will hold it. It will be more solid. So it will be like this. Yes, and we can move the parallel line from this 21. $2mm this way, 2mm this way, and we have the rectangle like this, and we pull the rectangle 12, and then we can cut it a bit like this, and we can cut this part, so we can draw some lines. To close the loop and just remove. I didn't select it because software tries to guess what I want to do, so we remove it automatically. Not in this plane. So now it looks like this. So next we need to create the holes here for the next bolts. Make it parallel, 6 millimeters, 12 here, the whole one, and we can see on this can be 21, 10 and 10, and click the, we'll use another bolt. It will be bolt like 4M, so this is 2 millimeters diameter radius. Drill the hole. Now we see this is holes for the bolts, like this. But you can see we have this bolts a bit outside of this hole, so we have the possibility to screw it, this one and this one independent. Here we found it is too small distance between this and this. We can change it to rebuild again, but we can also just move this hole on some distance here. Let's say we want to put it 3 millimeters this side. We can move, click on the internal surface of the hole and show we want to move the object. I click here to show the direction where we can move, otherwise it will be moved like we see the direction here we want to move, and it will be moved somewhere. So this is why we need to show that we will move along this line and move it to 3 millimeters for instance. Click. Same here, to move along this line on 3 millimeters. So this way we can quite easily to change the existing one. And to make it nice, like rounded, see this rounded corners. It is quite very easy to do. This is what they call fillets. Click on the edge and select one of the different fillets. And show the radius. For instance 5 millimeters radius, and I can click OK and it will be finished. But I can do this for like this. I will undo, so I put the fillet for 5 millimeters, and if I didn't select, click OK and click another edge, I have the same fillet applied. This one also can have the fillet. Like this, and we can delete this fillet actually, because this is a special operation on the geometry. We can try to do different fillet like such we want. And we can delete this fillet afterwards, and this one, and click OK. And to be almost done. If we filled our border somehow doesn't meet our criteria, we can change it, thickness for instance, like this, and do it. Or we can, for instance, if we have the large bolt head here, like in my case it was, I have to do these cuts. This can be done easily. Just create the work plane and create the cycle with needed diameter. Say it is like this, for instance, just for example, and just cut it out. So you are able to have some large space for your for this bolt head, but I don't need this here. So technically we created another part, and if we turn on step motor we can see this is actually totally what we need.